Hey guys, Sean here, and welcome to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix race watch-along, the title-deciding Abu Dhabi Grand Prix race watch-along. How are your nerves? I'm a wreck. I'm so much more anxious today than I thought I was going to be. It's unreal, really. One sec. Shut the door. Why not? Yeah, very on edge today, but very much looking forward to this. I can't wait to watch what will hopefully be a non-controversial but still exciting title decider. This is Formula One. I can't believe it's a non-controversial. Of course it won't be. Something will happen. I was talking to Stuart earlier today. He's adamant something is going to happen, so let's wait and see, but very excited for this, but also very, very anxious. If you're a Norris fan or a Piastri fan or even a Verstappen fan, let me know how you're feeling in the chat and we'll do some shout outs in just a moment. But yeah, very much ready for this one. While I remember, just a very quick reminder, I will be live again about an hour after the Grand Prix with Stuart, aka Chamber, for the return of the race reactions. But Sean, it's the last race of the season. Yes, I know it's the last race of the season, everyone. Calm down. We're testing them. We're testing them. Much like the channel, as we decided yesterday, this new channel is in alpha testing. The race reaction will be in alpha testing as well, ready for its full launch next season. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, very much looking forward to talking to Stuart post-race. I think I might need him. We'll do predictions in a bit, but I have a feeling that, as I said yesterday, unless something crazy happens, I think Lando's got this, but you never know. It's a season finale. It's a title decider. Anything can happen. Let's do some shout outs and then we'll go through the grid and talk strategy, and then before you know it'll be time for lights out. But yeah, Fud, hey Fud says happy F1 finale mus. I like that. We should have stolen that one, shouldn't we? Hey to Lee as well. I saw Tim a little bit earlier in the chat as well. So hey to you as well, Tim. Hope you well. Hey to Michael says F1 TV seems like the better option, but that's just my opinion when answering whether they should go with F1 TV or Sky. Also says good morning. Hey to Alfie says hey, how's you all? Nervous mate, how are you? Pascal, good afternoon, Sean and chat. How are you all? I've been quite emotional all day, so once the race starts, I'll be fine. One last dance. Come on, Sauber. Yes, Pascal, our resident Sauber fan, is on the ground in Abu Dhabi this weekend, so I hope you're having a good time, mate, and good luck for today's race. Bortoletto 7th. I said to Stuart when we were checking things this morning, audio and cameras and things, that battle for 7th in the Constructors couldn't be set up any better, could it? Alonso 6th, Bortoletto 7th, Ocon 8th. I mean, that's kind of perfect, really, isn't it? Hey to RC says, happy Verstappen World Championship winning day. RC nailing his colours to the mast there. Hey to Max. Hey to CPB says, Flying Dutchman versus the Millennium Falcon versus Webber's Apprentice. That's a really good way to sum that one up. Hey, Sam says, I hate that YouTube didn't notify me. I had to manually search. I don't know. I give up trying with YouTube sometimes. I always say, get your notifications on, but then they still don't send them, so there you go. Hey, Two Left Feet says, I've got 25 minutes to find a pub showing the race. Good luck, mate. Hopefully you find one. Hey to MSC Biles, hope you well, mate. Says, happy Sean Day. There you go, happy Sean Day. I like that as well. Not my birthday quite yet, but I'll take an extra day. I accept presents. Links in the description, you know. Happy Sean Day. Hey to Sam, I think I said hi to Sam, but I'll give you another one. I'll say hi to Society Canvas, says hello all. It's going to be a spicy race today. Expect top tier shenanigans. Hey Adrian says, greetings Sean, I'm sober. That's how confident I am in Piastri. Rock on. There you go. So very much, yeah, I'm not going to read that one, but Thierry Henry chatting to Martin Brundle. Let's run through the grid. No changes from yesterday, so this won't take a moment. Max Verstappen on pole position. Bit of a surprise, actually, when I was getting ready for the stream. Apparently, he now has the most poles of the season with 8, I think is the number. So he won that massive tyre because he hasn't got enough of the smaller ones, and clearly, you know, he needs a big tyre for some reason. I assume they get auctioned off for charity. I can't imagine any driver has every single pole position award in their house. But then again, Lando Norris P2 and Oscar Piastri P3. If it stays like that, Norris is world champion. Max Verstappen will stay second. Oscar Piastri third. So that's going to be really interesting. That first corner, apparently Piastri's been told it's team first today. That was a roll of the eyes if you didn't catch it on camera. Just short McLaren. It's a title fight. It's the Drivers' Championship. The Constructors is long since done. Let them get on with it. If they smash into each other, they smash into each other. Just for God's sake. Drives me mad. It really does. But yeah, so I assume that's going to be take the fight to Verstappen, and if you can't win the title, then you have to let Norris through. But we knew that anyway. George Russell P4. Mercedes have come out and said, for some reason, when asked, that they don't intend to interfere. I don't know why that needs to be said. I suppose after what happened last weekend and the idiots online, they need to make sure that's clear. Charles Leclerc said it yesterday. I think that's a great qualifying, actually, all things considered. P5 did a cracking job. Alonso 6th, Bortoleto 7th, Ocon 8th. Hadjar 9th. Is in that fight, but I think Williams and Racing Bulls look good to be where they are come the end of the season. So that battle there for P7, 8 and 9 in the constructors. I mean, that's pretty good, isn't it? 6th, 7th and 8th there. Tsunoda top 10, 11th for Bearman, 12th for Sainz, 13th for Liam Lawson, 14th for Kimi Antonelli, 15th for Lance Stroll, 16th for Lewis Hamilton, 17th for Alex Albon, 18th for Nico Hulkenberg, 19th for Pierre Gasly, 20th for Franco Colapinto. Germans. I just thought I'd bring myself onto the topic. While we're on the subject of Germans, just a reminder, Nico Rosberg is a world champion. So yesterday when we were saying there's only been 2 German world champions, and I appreciate that if Red Ravens here and any other Germans in the chat may argue this point, but Nico Rosberg did race under a German licence. He is German, so he is the 3rd. There have been 3 German F1 world champions. So apologies to Nico Rosberg, who I think we've been talking about for about 10 minutes before that and still forgot about him. So there you go. There are 3. That's a correction from yesterday. Thank you to Moray for pointing that one out in the comments to yesterday's stream. So Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel, and of course, Nico Rosberg. Anyway, strategy-wise for today, Germans, strategy-wise for today, one stopper is the preferred route. Not a massive surprise, really, is it? Medium to hard is the top strategy on the list from Pirelli. Pit on lap 20 to 26. Get rid of those mediums and put the hards onto the end. You can do a hard to soft one stopper, so run 39 to 45 laps on the hards. I wonder if that's what they'll do with Tsunoda at Red Bull to see if he can get involved during pit stops and hold up some McLarens and then put the soft onto the end. Medium, hard, medium is another option. You can also do a medium, 2 sets of hards, or a medium, a hard, and a soft. So pretty much every strategy or every combination of tyres is on the agenda today. Couple of key points though, which I think we need to raise. McLaren do have 2 new sets of hard tyres, but Max Verstappen, although he only has 1 set of new hards, does have 2 new sets of medium tyres, so he could run a theoretically quicker 2-stopper with 2 sets of mediums. So something to keep an eye out for later today. So that's really where we are with the... I mean, we don't really care about those further back quite so much today. It's all about the championship, isn't it? So, but for those who are interested in that battle between Aston and Co for P7 in the standings, Aston have no new tyres apart from Stroll, who has 1 set of the softs. Of course, they scrub theirs in, so they've only done 1 or 2 laps on those, if that. The Haas drivers, Bearman has 2 sets of new mediums and a new set of softs, so they could come in handy. And who was he on? Bortoleto and Hulkenberg in the Saubers. Set of new hards, set of new mediums, and 3 sets of new softs for Nico Hulkenberg. So maybe they could try something at Sauber to try and take that 7th place. It's a big ask for Sauber today. Just on that battle before we get into the championship battle itself, the one that people really care about. I mean, P7, 7 points between Aston and Haas, and then another, 5 back to Sauber. So Aston look good, but yeah, anything can happen in Abu Dhabi. So we'll see what happens there. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, I don't know. We know all the permutations now, don't we? Are just waiting to see how this unfolds. But Norris goes into the weekend on 408 points, 12 clear of Max Verstappen. So a podium is all Norris needs. If, just to confirm, I mentioned this on Thursday as well, if it does end in a tie, let's say Norris retires and Verstappen only finishes 4th and Piastri retires, Norris would be world champion on countback because he would have more second place finishes because they're all tied on 7 wins apiece, which is incredible. I mean, if Max wins today, he could have had the most wins in the season and not been champion. I mean, that's also quite incredible when you think about it. But yeah, phenomenal season. Really enjoyed it. It's been up and down. There have been moments there it's been a bit flat and all this. I keep complaining about it, but papaya rules nonsense. I can't be bothered with any of that, but that's been annoying at times. But for the most part, it's been a great season. So I am Team Verstappen, understandably, but I've said it a million times this year. I don't care if Lando or Oscar win it. I'm hoping it's just one of those days where it's just a case of may the best man win. I don't want any shenanigans. Whilst the drama would be fun to scream over whilst we're watching it live, I don't want any contact in turn 1. I just want a nice, clean, fair fight. And whoever comes out on top at the end of it comes out on top. But Max needs chaos, doesn't he? I'm intrigued about him backing the pack up. That's what everyone keeps talking about. How are they so relaxed, those 3? Seriously. Madness. But yeah, the backing into the pack is interesting because it's that run to turn 6. You just hope he needs to. And somebody made the point yesterday, actually, that the Red Bull seems pretty good in the first 2 sectors. So he needs to be pulling away from those behind through the first sector, down that long straight, through turn 8 and through turn 9. Then he needs to back them up from turn 10 onwards and then sprint away again. He's got to try and make sure he doesn't let them through. But I can't imagine Lando Norris is going to be taking too many risks today. In fact, I was talking to Stuart last night until quite late, but I think we both sort of agree that Oscar may well stick a wheel up the inside of Lando into turn 1. And if he does that, we fully expect Lando to just hop out of the way and not even try and close him off, because there's just no point. He only needs 3rd today. That's the minimum he needs. Just go get it. That's what he needs to do. But it's going to be interesting. And I know there are a lot of. It's been a bit frustrating this morning on social media. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of. Actually, no, I will say it. I was going to be a bit cautious about this, but no, I'm going to say it now. I had my little moan about the Kimi Antonelli stuff yesterday and had a bit of a rant about it, and I stand by everything I said. However, all this week, the media, you know, your motorsports and autosports, same thing, but you know what I mean? People like that have all been, it's disgusting. You can't talk to people like that. But they've spent all weekend and all morning so far rage baiting over 2021, and you're just like, hypocrite much, you know, just desperately trying to get as much interaction as possible because they know mentioning it and showing the last lap and going, what if this happens today? Well, first of all, Michael Massey ain't there, as far as I know, unless something really dramatic has happened overnight, so it's not going to happen, is it? But also, just shut up and stop being a hypocrite. Don't spend all week telling people to behave and be calm on social media and then spend all week winding them up or whatever. Dickheads, simple as that. It's the media landscape. It drives me mad. I'm not one of those anti-mainstream media types, but I really, and I appreciate with my accent this makes me sound ridiculous, but the British media do piss me off. Full stop. There you go. Nervous Lando? Question mark, says Biles. How many laps before he does something detrimental? I honestly think he's going to stay out of trouble. The thing is, though, and I know there were other things at play that day, but go back to 2012, possibly one of the greatest title deciders of all time. Go back to 2012. Sebastian Vettel played it relatively cautious, didn't he, in that first lap, trying to stay out of trouble. And he was facing backwards at turn 4 with Bruno Senna in his side. So you can be too cautious as well. So I think the best way for Norris to approach this is to just go into it and treat it like any other race and just go racing, basically. For Max, I think Max just needs to go and win it. That's all he can do. He could try backing people up, but is George Russell going to send a dive bomb move up the inside of Lando Norris with a couple of laps to go because Verstappen's backed him up for a podium? I can't see it happening. No driver wants to be the guy who costs somebody a world championship today, regardless. I know they're racers and they want to finish as high as possible, but I just can't see it. Now, Leclerc might. I don't know, but I can't see Russell doing it. So, it's madness. I don't know how they're all as calm as they are. I'm so stressed today. Feeling a little bit better, so that's good. The cough seems to be wearing down a bit, so that's a positive. I won't quite cough in your ear quite as much today as I did yesterday. So, yes. McLaren have fumbled so many times under pressure so far. They don't deserve to win till they get that right, says Cited Canvas. Kimi cost Max the title, but not in Qatar, rather than Austria. Of course, it's never just one moment. Not really. That was the other thing I was going to talk about today. A lot of people, I know race fans seem to have a bee in their bonnet about it, about how Max Verstappen's red mist descending in Spain was what's going to cost him this world championship. And it's like, especially a bit disappointed with race fans in that, because they're an outlet I respect, and I have a lot of respect for Keith Collentine, who is the big guy over there. He's, a very good journalist, seems like a good guy, but I just sort of feel like that's so short-sighted. Did Kimi Antonelli wiping Max out, as the chat has said there, in Austria not count towards that? Does the Lando Norris's bad starts not count towards that? Does Oscar Piastri's silly penalty in Silverstone, or Lando's engine failure, or Lando driving to the back of Canada, do they not count towards it? It's picking out one moment from a season going, that's what cost them it. It's just BS. It really is, but Hey ho, Sean's in one of those moves this weekend where he's just saying what he thinks because he knows he's got several months before he has to worry too much about upsetting people again, so he can say what he wants today. So there you go. He also talks about himself in the third person quite a lot, which is odd. CPB says, think about how exciting next season will be if McLaren has the best car, but neither driver is the world champion. Yeah, I mean, I think next season will be great anyway. I'm not a lot of talk about Mercedes having the best power unit, but then as you guys have pointed out in chat before, when McLaren have a Mercedes power unit and Williams will have one, so doesn't mean they'll be the dominant force, does it, Mercedes? But then I'm not convinced that Red Bull are going to be as bad as we think they might be with them building their engine with Ford. So it's going to be a really interesting season next year. We can worry about that over the winter, though. We'll worry about that into the new year. We'll wrap everything up in December and then start fresh next year. So keep in mind, we're here because we want to hear what you actually think about racing. Oh, steady on. I don't think you do. You know what the absolute truth, do you? I hate it, really. I just love ballet. I jumped on the bandwagon in 2021. I never watched F1 before then, honest. That's not true. That is not true. 1992, I started watching this bloody sport, and it's dominated my life ever since. And it's for moments like this, you know. Qatar was a cack weekend, right? But it's for moments like this that we keep watching. You can have all the boring race in a season, I don't care. Nothing happens, whatever. DRS train's fine. But it's moments like this that make this sport so special. And those brilliant races we get as well. And it all builds to such an incredible climax. And I'm trying not to big it up too much because I'm very aware this is Abu Dhabi and it could be the most boring thing we've seen all season. But this is why I love Formula One. I really do. Hey, Tommy. Good to see you, mate. Hey, Jack as well has turned up. Says, I don't know. I own a Ford now. It's very Ford. So there you go. Could be awful. By the way, huge breaking news for you. And I just everyone take a quick break just to calm yourself down. Nice deep breath. The risk of rain for the race is 0%. I know. Who saw that coming in the desert? We had one little drizzle in 2018, 19, somewhere around there, and it dried up quicker than it hit the bloody ground. In fact, I don't know if the rain hit the ground, did it? It was that hot. So, yeah, it's no rain. Hey, 7-stream basis, mate. Hope you're having a good one. Says, I just hope that no one gets in the way of the title fight. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy, do you? Unless you're a Tsunoda. Tsunoda might want to get involved, although there's something to me interesting about announcing that you're dropping a driver right before a title decider when you might need them the most. Maybe wait until after, see how that goes. Risk of a sandstorm, 98%, says Adrian. That'd be pretty dramatic. We've got Ted Kravitz in the pit lane, Bernie Collins on the pit wall. I'm going to put the sound on now for the music for the final time in 2025. Anthony Davison, giving us a proper 90s cheesy smile there and a thumbs up. Always forget, random fact about Anthony Davison, his brother was in the first series of Big Brother in the UK. Was second to be evicted, I believe. Sad that I know that. I'm fully aware. That's incredibly sad, but there you go. If you didn't know, just thought I'd let you know. Don't worry, so they don't have a 20-second pit stop like usual. Yeah. Oh, no, he's come out right in front of Lando. What a shame. Red Bull also have Hadjar and Lawson to play with. Not that other independent team would have any reason to get involved, clearly. Of course, Fud. Of course. It's not like Daniel Ricciardo going for fastest lap in Singapore last year, is it? We'll chat about people like Arvid Lindblad either in Q&A post-race or we'll do it over the winter, RC. This is, I want to focus on this now. We're nearly there, mate, but I'll try and remember to do this one. But yeah, Yinka says, hello, everyone. Hey, Yinka, mate. Chris says you learn something new every day. There you go. You do. You see? It's yeah. Golf Ball says, Tsunoda, same if they've been dropped, it intentionally takes Max out while being lapped. Why not, eh? Get your predictions in then. Let's do it. Your top three come the checkered flag today in the race, not the championship. I will do all the shout outs and I'll try and work out as I go who you're picking for the champion. So your top three. I'm standing by what I said yesterday. I know it's boring and I know, but I'm just being realistic. It's Abu Dhabi, DRS trains and all that business. Verstappen win, Norris second, Piastri third, Norris for the title. I think the only real change in there is potentially Piastri tries something on Norris and Norris just getting out of the way. I saw somebody say, actually, chat, he needs to Prost his way to the championship today. Norris does. He does. That's what he needs to do. I need P3. I'll take P3 if somebody tries something. So that just makes sense to me. So, yeah. Sam won't predict. I've been cursed with my predictions. You talk to the king of cursing predictions, mate. You really are. But yeah, this is all a bit tense. I'm very excited. Right then. Biles says Max, Oscar, and George for the top 3. So that would make Max world champion. There you go. It'll be epic and full of drama, but Verstappen, Norris, and Piastri, says Fun. So, really dramatic behind and nothing in front. I love that. So Norris world champion there for Fud. I think Bortoletto will beat Hulk next year, says CPB. RC says Max, Piastri, Russell, Norris, Alonso. So he's going Verstappen for the title. Verstappen, Piastri, Norris for Jack. So he's gone Norris for the title. Michael says Verstappen, Piastri, Norris. So Norris for the title. Norris, Verstappen, Russell for 7th basis. So obviously Norris for the title there. Pascal says Verstappen, Piastri, Norris. Sauber in the points. So Norris title there. Golf Balls goes with Sainz, Gasly, and Bearman. And Ushka says Verstappen, Piastri, Russell, Leclerc. So Verstappen world champion. CPB, Verstappen, Piastri, Russell. So Verstappen champion. Alfie's gone with Verstappen, Piastri, Russell. Norris P4. That's the title for Verstappen. Tommy says Max, Lando, Oscar. So that's Norris for the title. God, this is more mixed than I thought it was going to be. Verstappen wins, says Navi Pants, but the shock will come after he parks his car, gets out and takes off the helmet, only to reveal Stoffel. Yeah, you see, it wouldn't surprise me. He's that good. Considering I'm often wrong, considering I'm often wrong about this, then let it be Verstappen, Norris, Russell, says Adrian, and Norris for the title. Chris says Verstappen, Piastri, Lando, so Lando for the title. And Norris for the World Championship, says Clansom, and Piastri, Verstappen, Russell. Hey, Nick. Hey, Clansom. Title for Norris. There you go. Yeah, Piastri. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Anushka says Delusion, says Oscar World Champion. Right, let's get this set up then. So, of course, I feel like I need to say this every single time. No on-track footage for obvious copyright reasons, but we have got live time provided by the awesome folks over at Multiviewer for F1. So thank you very much, those guys. Should make that a little bit bigger, actually, the track map as best I can without cutting off any corners. But there you go. I'll do my best for you. There you go. So thank you to those guys for allowing me to use the stuff on stream. Really appreciate that. Great season with yours. Thank you very much. The link in the description if you want to go check it out. But it is free to use the app, to download the app. But you will need an F1 TV subscription of some kind. So thank you to those guys. And super quickly, let's have a run through the grid. So Colapinto and Gasly at the back. We already know that. Hulkenberg P18. Albon in 17th. Hamilton 16th. 15th for Stroll. 14th for Antonelli. 13th for Liam Lawson. 12th for Carlos Sainz with Ollie Bearman in P11 there. 10th for Yuki Tsunoda and 9th for Isack Hadjar. Didn't even realise they were together on the grid. There you go. That's funny how these things work out, isn't it? Ocon P8 and Bortoletto in P7 with Fernando Alonso in P6. Great qualifying for Fernando yesterday. And again, for the 5th time already, Charles Leclerc, great quality in P5, all things considered. George Russell lines up alongside Oscar Piastri on the 2nd row. I wonder how interested George will be in turn one. He might want to just not get involved. And then the front row, Max Verstappen versus Lando Norris. One of those three, Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, will be world champion come the checkered flag. This is going to be really interesting. Just brace yourself for this, okay, right? You'll love this. This took me so long. Have a trophy and have an as it stands. There you go. We have to keep that up. If it's a bit blurry, it's because it's a screen grab, so probably a bit low res, but that's all I could do. So there you go. You can I point it? There you go. You can see the championship as it stands. We need that today. I'm hoping, whatever happens, that chops and... I want to see Piastri leading the title at one point. I want to see Verstappen up there. I want it to chop and change and not just through the pit stop. So I'm going to have a quick swig of my Lemsip because I'm not 100%. Black currant Lemsip, by the way. The king. Which is going to be good. Oh, that's gone cold. That's not nice. Oh, well, it's still got paracetamol in it, I suppose. It'll still work. But yeah, tyre-wise... Verstappen and Norris both starting on new medium tyres. Hards for Piastri. So Piastri's running long. So they have split the strategy at McLaren. That's interesting. Russell and Leclerc on mediums. Alonso is on used mediums officially, but they've done one lap, so we'll call them new mediums. Bortoletto, Ocon and Hadjar on mediums. Tsunoda on hards. Bearman, Sainz, Lawson on mediums. I just got all excited and gut. I don't know why. Antonelli hard. Stroll used hards, but again, only one lap. And then it's softs, by the way. Hamilton, Albon and Hulkenberg, and then Gasly and Colapinto start on the mediums. One quick thing. I do find it quite funny. They fly out the World Championship trophy to the finale for a title decider, but no driver can touch it until the FIA prize-giving gala. In situations like this, I think they could relax that rule and allow that trophy to be lifted on the podium by the champion if they're up there. It's just very odd to me that, you know, you wouldn't... You wouldn't get a match-winning trophy in the Premier League if you won the title, would you? You get to lift. You would have to wait for a prize giving. F1 is so stuck in its ways sometimes. It's actually quite funny. Super quickly on the YouTube spiel, please do drop a like on the stream. That'd be really appreciated. We are already at our best concurrent on the new channel, so thank you very much everyone tuning in. Please do drop a like and subscribe as well if you are new. Not much to come in December. There'll be a Christmas stream where we'll do some awards if you like. We're also going to have a race reaction after this. There'll maybe be a video as well, but really this is just the alpha release of the channel. Will be launching properly in the new year, so lots of content coming in 2026 and what will hopefully be a great season. So likes and subs greatly appreciated. You can support the channel through Patreon as well if you want your name at the end of videos and streams, and you can buy me a coffee as well if you want to, but it's all good. If not, no worries. No content will ever be locked behind a paywall here permanently. So yeah, all the YouTuber stuff out of the way. We have our Drivers' Championship as it stands. We've got the timing tower. We've got the track map set up. The drivers are on their formation lap, and I'm... what's... I'm not going to say that expression. It's disgusting. I'm not even going to say it, but yeah, I'm just a bit nervous. There you go. Live timing ahead of Sky Go. Well, Sky Go is... It used to be about a minute behind, but I think it's now about 30 seconds behind, so they've improved that. So, yes, you've got the YouTube delay and a 30-second delay as well on your Sky Go, so sorry, mate. I'll try not to ruin the outcome for you. We'll wait for Jack to catch up, and then we can talk about what happens. So, yeah. Oh. I can't take notes during the stream, so we have to rely on Stuart later to remind us of stuff that I've forgotten about. So, yeah, very much ready for this one. KFC has arrived in time, says RC. There you go. RC is well set up. I've got a lemsip and an orange and mango squash and a couple of strepsils. I'm living the life here. I really am. Right, round the final corner now. Max Verstappen getting ready to line up on the grid. I'm going to drink some more of this awful cold lemsip now. Right, here we go then. Title decider. That was so not a pause for a timestamp, was it? There is Max Verstappen lining up on pole position. Is he going to be able to do this? I still think it's a big ask for Max, but it only takes one mistake, doesn't it? 2 left feet found a pub. That's all that matters. There you go. I will count down the lights, don't worry, so you can sync up as best you can. Yeah. Just a quick cough there. Lining up, so that's a Racing Bulls there. That'll be Hadjar pulling into his grid slot. I'm having flashbacks to Michael Schumacher stalling in 98 now for some reason. Just sat on board with Max Verstappen there. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. They go quite wide, actually. I've just noticed, was that Gasly going quite wide on the entry to the final corner to get a run on the grid to get some burnouts done, I suppose. Here we go then. The Alpines are lining up. I keep saying here we go. It's all I can say. The Alpines are lining up on the back of the grid. The green flag is flying. It's 1 light, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. It's lights out. That was quick, and away we go. In Abu Dhabi, Max Verstappen straight across to cover off from Lando Norris, and Oscar Piastri tries nothing into turn 1. We've got a Racing Bulls and a Sauber flying in the background there, making up place. A great start for Hadjar up to P7. He's going to drop back a little bit, though, as they run through the first couple of corners here, but Max Verstappen gets away in the lead. Lando Norris stays P2. Oscar Piastri third. Leclerc is up to P4. Is that Fernando Alonso up to P5, as well as Ocon having a go there, I think it was, on the Hadjar Racing Bull, but he's side by side with Bortoletto down there. It looks like Alonso's got a fantastic slipstream on Charles Leclerc. Has a look to the outside on the run to turn 6. Fernando Alonso is on one here as Oscar Piastri challenges Lando Norris into turn 6. Will Alonso be able to hang on around the outside of Leclerc? He will, and then down the inside, but they're still side by side, and Leclerc just about stays ahead. But Piastri now lining up Lando Norris. We need to be watching this director, not Alonso and Leclerc, and they're goes Piastri having a look around the outside of Norris at turn 9. The McLarens are side by side. And I think Piastri's got the move done around the outside of turn 9. What a move that was by Aussie P. Lando Norris drops to P3, but that is where he needs to be for the title. Oscar Piastri with a ballsy move around the outside of P9. We saw F2 this morning. Lots of moves around the outside there. Always look spectacular, but we have a change of position. Piastri at one place, and now what happens? I'm guessing Norris just sits back and lets those two disappear and stays out of trouble. But that squabble between Leclerc and Alonso was great fun to watch. Piastri at one place, Leclerc and Alonso at one place. Hadjar at one place, 2 places for Lawson, 2 for Hamilton and 2 for Albon as well. So big losers on the grid. Really Antonelli down 3 places already. So a shocking start for him, but what a start to that one. That was a great move by Piastri. I love any move around the outside of any corner, looks great, but a corner like turn 9 that's quite quick like that, that's a lot of fun. So as it stands, Norris is the champion, but only by 2 points from Max Verstappen. Colapinto noted for a starting procedure infringement. DRS is enabled, and Norris is going to come under pressure here from Charles Leclerc because Piastri has gone. Norris does not have DRS to defend, so this is going to be DRS train territory. What? I mean, will McLaren ask Piastri to back up a little bit and give Norris DRS, perhaps? Now he's got DRS back as Norris, so he's back in it now. Oh, what a start that was. That was all a bit exciting as Gasly drops behind Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg up to P18. Gasly down to 19. Max Verstappen 1.5 seconds clear at the front as the sun begins to set a little bit more. Abu Dhabi does, I mean, look. I don't like the track. I think it's really poor, and I'd much rather be Interlagos for this finale, but it does look quite spectacular under the lights, doesn't it, as the sun goes down. So, there we go. DRS train time, says Tommy. I've synced, but I've got to pause you for over a minute, Sean. There you go. Do you want me to pretend to be paused for you, Jack? Having pulled a really stupid face or something, I don't know. 2 points is all it takes, exactly. I'll give you the Murray Walker line. We've had a championship by half a point before, so it doesn't take a lot, does it? Yeah, tracker always stutters on the first couple of laps. I don't know why. It may fall behind, but there's not a lot I can do on that, unfortunately. So we seem to be okay. I think the tracker is slightly behind the TV broadcast, actually, which is a little bit annoying, but I can't remember which way I need to go to fix that. So I might try and just sort that out. We'll see how we go. I've got a timer, but I haven't got there isn't one on the TV, so that's a bit annoying. So, but they are coming down on the run to turn 6 now. In fact, Max is already into turn 6. You're about right. Check the brakes. My pedal is going long, said Russell. I mean, Leclerc's a bit quicker than I thought he was going to be in this early phase of the race. I've got to say, I mean, he's only 6/10 behind Norris. Yes, helped by the DRS, of course, but when you look at where Ferrari have been of late, I mean, he's doing a cracking job again, Leclerc. And to be right there, but this is the thing. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, chat? Hamilton Albon incident is being noted, leaving the track and getting an advantage. But do you think, if you're Leclerc, you want the podium, but do you want to be the guy that gets involved in that? I mean, you've got to try, haven't you? You're there to race at the end of the day. It's not your problem if a driver loses the title because you get the podium. So. But yeah, you don't want to send any 50-50s in there. But then again, Norris is going to leap out of the way, isn't he? He doesn't want collisions at this stage of the race. It's all going to come down to where he is over the line at the end. It doesn't, this is a long way to go in this race yet. Thank you, by the way, everyone, for tuning in. We absolutely smashed the record we have on the channel for concurrent viewers. So thank you very much for tuning in. Please do like and subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. We are still growing this channel. You might recognise the gob on the face from the F1 word. If you've come over from there, then welcome. If you're new, also welcome. We've cracking season finale and a great season next year, hopefully. George Russell challenging Alonso. I think Leclerc is challenging Norris as well. He's very close. There goes Russell at the inside of the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso. But Leclerc is all over the back here of Lando Norris here. This could be a problem for Norris. In fact, Leclerc here to the outside of turn 9. Norris covers the inside as you'd expect. Leclerc not quite close enough to have a go. But yeah, definitely a racier Ferrari than I expected today as Lewis Hamilton is having a look at Liam Lawson, but then loses a place to Ollie Bearman. Or was he having to go to Ollie Bearman? He would have been. He was 13th, wasn't he? So trying around the outside of Ollie Bearman didn't quite work out. So, yes. Ferrari looking very good. The soft tyre as well on Hamilton, don't forget. Mediums for Leclerc, so same compound as Norris. No compound differential there. We're happy with this as long as you're comfortable. This will be plan A, target lap. Plan A, target lap is what Norris has been told. So, I mean, Leclerc is all over the back of it. It's dropped to a second behind now as they go through the detectors. So, might be okay now, Lando. He does a purple first sector. So, yeah, we've seen this a lot, haven't we? Lando, early laps, just nursing those tyres in a bit and then starts to put the hammer down. So, maybe thinking the long game here, but Max Verstappen 2.5 seconds nearly up the road now. Oscar Piastri P2. As it stands, Lando Norris champion by 2 points over Max Verstappen. So maybe some management going on for Norris, but again Leclerc right on the. He started to close in again. He's quick in that first sector there. Antonelli and Stroll noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. So we've got no further investigation for Colapinto, by the way, for his starting procedure infringement. Lawson and Hulkenberg having lap times deleted. So start of the race, pretty even actually at the front. Slightly better start for Verstappen, I suppose. Cuts across to cover Norris, but Piastri didn't get a great start. Alonso just up the inside of everybody because, you know, Fernando things. Fighting with Russell through there, but yeah, McLaren quite a steady start, nothing overly dramatic, which isn't a great surprise, but I don't think we need. Oh, Leclerc did have a look at Piastri, you know, into turn 5, but wider line there, the quicker way out of that corner, so nothing happened. But yeah, Verstappen was always going to chop, and it makes sense to do that. Quite a short run to turn 1 as well, isn't it? So Leclerc, remember that comment from Norris during the COTA cool-down room about wanting racing easier, and he's like, nah, mate. Says Addy Boy. Leclerc is not letting Norris breathe, is he? He's a second behind, so no DRS at the moment, but he's not letting him get away. It was Fudd that says this is very Norris, getting slow started, then speeding up. Yeah, it is. It is very Norris. We've seen it a lot, haven't we, this season. I think. Do you think that's because McLaren tend to be very good on their tyres, don't they? Is that part of that, easing them in rather than giving it, you know, going full beans initially? Those who are good with tyres. I know I'm supposed to be good with tyres, but I just do the terrible segues. So. Gasly and Hulkenberg noted for causing a collision, by the way, but this is a replay on board of Piastri around the outside of Lando Norris. I think Norris was never going to fight that hard, but that's just a really lovely move from Piastri. Like I say, the F2 drivers were at it all morning today. It was great to see. Great corner to see overtaking at. Has Norris got DRS on Piastri? He has not. He's 1.5 behind now, Lando Norris, and he's got 8 tenths back to Leclerc. This is good for now, Max. We may wish to go longer, so just keep on top, is what GP tells Verstappen. So Leclerc is going to be back within DRS unless he has a shocking first couple of corners here, or second and third corner, really, aren't they? The super quick ones. Yeah, Leclerc is closing in. So Hamilton and Albon reviewed, no further investigations. So that one's sorted. Bortoletto, so Alonso is now going to be Jarno Trulli, isn't he? He's going to be the Trulli train. He will be Vitaly Petrov 2.0. Sorry, Fernando, I didn't mean to mention him again. He's going to be... Whoa, Leclerc really close to Norris under braking there. Leclerc seems really confident. I keep saying it, but I'm really surprised. I look at where Ferrari sort of were earlier in the weekend. They didn't really look like they were in anything. And now, all of a sudden, Charles Leclerc looks really racy. Whether Lando is managing his tyres a little bit, I don't know. But it's not easy to overtake here, so... You can, I suppose, take it easy. He did that on hard tyres too, Society Canvas, yeah. That's a nice and wide corner, says Tommy Guy. The turn 9 is, yeah, turn 9 is a lovely wide corner. And you come off it with some real speed as well, can't you? So I like the reprofiled turn 5. I like turn 9 as a spectacle. I just don't think it... I appreciate what I'm about to say is ridiculous because we've just seen an overtake, and we saw with F2 you can overtake, but F2 could overtake on... You know, in a village town centre if they wanted to, or a village square. They just throw their cars into everything. But the chicane there offered up more opportunities. We've got a bit of lag on the driver tracker. It's inevitable, I'm afraid. I think there were some issues with timing earlier in the weekend from official F1 as well. So if the timing goes down, that is a F1 issue, not anything that I can do or Multiviewer could do. So Hulkenberg pits. Getting rid of those soft tyres after 7 laps, so not happy with those, Nico Hulkenberg. Norris closing in a little bit. On Pierre, not really, 1.5 seconds it was before, wasn't it? No further investigation on Stroll and Antonelli either. Piastri told, let's see if we can start putting Verstappen under pressure over the radio. So 4 tenths between Leclerc and Norris. I suppose there's a little bit of a buffer here for McLaren in that if Leclerc gets through, they can still get Piastri to drop back, can't they? And let Norris go at the end if they need to. So I suppose if they lose to Leclerc, it's not the end of the world, but I'm fairly sure McLaren won't want to make that call, but they can make that call if they need to. Johnson's a bit tense, isn't it? My leg's twitching, mate. It won't stop twitching. I've got this really weird situation where I've got my team with Charles Leclerc closing in on Max Verstappen, on Verstappen's title rival, Verstappen, my driver, and I'm just thinking, what if Leclerc takes Norris out? What do I do then? Chaos. Russell needs to unlock his ultimate form, says Wisdom Guide. And Norris has to choke this. Verstappen and Piastri's only chance, says Nick. Hamilton pits. So the soft tyre, 7-8 laps, which is an Albon as well. So, yeah, that's about right. So, I just double check that, actually, because I'm not sure what the... yeah, you'd be looking at about 13 laps at the end on low fuel. So, on heavy fuel... Yeah, that would make sense. 7-8 laps, that makes sense. Hard tyre, by the way, for all of those who put the softs on. So I would imagine that's going to be to the end for those 3. They might make another stop late on, but Verstappen has started grading on the right front is what Piastri's told on his radio. Just happy the race matters. Made me get up and watch it at 4:30am. Exactly. There's nothing worse. I mean, Abu Dhabi's not a great race anyway, but it's nothing worse than a dead rubber. Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is the killjoy. So, yeah. Under investigation, Gasly and Hulkenberg. Did we see that one, Gasly and Hulkenberg? As Albon, Hamilton and Hulkenberg are battling on the run to turn 6 on the driver track, I know it looked like, but not quite as close as that. Gap is 2 seconds at the front. Norris now 9 tenths clear of Leclerc, but 1.7 behind Piastri. And if you are just tuning in, a reminder, Norris is champion if it stays like this by 2 points. 4-2-3 for him, 4-2-1 for Verstappen, 4-10 for Piastri. 3 drivers have pitted thus far. Hamilton, Hulkenberg and Albon. We're expecting the first of the medium runners in between lap 20 and lap 26. Hard runners can go as far as lap 39 to 45. So, yeah. So I listened to Martin Brundle there. He's talking about Alonso is lapping faster than maybe we thought he would do. No further action on Hulkenberg and Gasly. I've still not seen a replay of that, so I'm not sure what is going on there. As Hulkenberg does a 28.4. That's a second quicker than the race leader. I know he's a fresh set of tyres and won't be managing in the same way that those at the front are, but that is a rapid lap from Nico Hulkenberg there. Yeah, no further action, on Hulkenberg and Gasly, so... They're talking to Zach Brown on the pit wall now. Clayton says, what's the pit stop deal? 1 stop, 2 stop, or 1 stop? Pirelli have given mostly... They've given 2 1-stoppers and 3 2-stoppers. So it's one of those... It's one of those marginal 1-stop races. So we're probably going to see quite a lot of management. But just a reminder to those who maybe are just tuning in. Expected drivers in on the mediums between lap 20 to 26, then run the hard to the end. You can run the hard to lap 39 to 45 and then put the soft on to the end. Or you can go medium, hard, medium, or medium, hard, hard, or medium, hard, soft if you wanted to. So lots of options. But 1-stop is the top strategy on the list. So, yes. No worries, John T. Take care, mate. I'll talk to you in a bit. Hopefully something interesting happens, but yeah. Let's see. At the moment, Verstappen 2.1 seconds clear. Norris has got a 1.1 second lead now over Leclerc, so he's got that under control for now. Still a long way to go. 58 laps in total, 48 left. So we've got a way yet. Waiting for the Lyco. Yeah, that'll ruin everything, won't it? A bit of Lyco. Soft for 9 laps. We try to go to the end with hards, maybe on mediums in the final stint, says Addy Boy. And if we get a late safety car, let's not. You could stick another set of softs on if you've got them. Even if it's just a one qualifying run on them for the last sort of 10 laps or so is I suppose, possible on lower fuel and a grippier track. So, yeah, Verstappen's got two sets of new mediums, and the 2 McLaren drivers have got 2 sets of new hards. So, obviously, they'll have 1 set left of each now because they started on some. But, yeah. Although Norris still have 2 sets of the hards, won't he? That's interesting. So, it's so frustrating when you see, because you can't help but go back over the season. And I know I said at the start it's just stupid to do it, but because the championship is won over the course of a season, not just in single moments through the season. But 2 points, you just think, oh, where could those 2 points have been found? Where? But then when you start doing that, like I said earlier, then you have to say, well, what if Norris had not hit the back of Piastri? What if Norris's engine hadn't blown up? And suddenly you think, well, this should have been wrapped up a while ago then. So it's kind of difficult, but very strange. Leclerc still 1.2 behind Norris now, so he's there. But I wonder if Ferrari need to be the undercut if they want to do something here. Not much from Mercedes at the moment. Russell 2.7 further back. I tell you what, Alonso's pace, Martin Brundle's got a good point. Alonso's pace is better than I think we all expected. We thought he'd be backing everybody up and then bolting around his pit window. But he's now 1.5 clear of Bortoletto, and he's only 0.3 off the leader's pace. So he's doing all right, is Fernando out there. They are investigating Lawson and Bearman for driving erratically. Not the first time those two have been involved in an incident with the words driving erratically. Next to their name this season. Was it Brazil? That one. So it'd be real nice to see all of these collisions, erratic driving, corner cutting wikis. Exactly, Fud. This is my frustration with TV direction. I get we have to keep an eye on the championship fight, but nothing's happening at the moment. So let's go watch these incidents they're being investigated for. Oh, cold lemon sip is disgusting. Oh, sorry. People are like, we don't care, Sean. We don't give a damn, mate. Yeah, exactly, Clanson. What's that expression? If my grandmother had wheels, she'd have been a bike. You know. Miami pit lane unsafe release. I'm going to say Bonner, lad, but I know exactly what your name says. It'd be, yeah, so you read that one. We didn't Williams to crash 5 laps from the end, says Nick. Oh, Nick, don't start, mate. Don't. I've been crying. I messaged Stuart last night, and I just said, if I see Massey's name on the race director sheet in the morning, I'm going to be livid. Grading is picking up, says Lando Norris. So, is this the is this the most exciting first 30 laps we've seen in Abu Dhabi? No. Has it been a bit tense? Yes. Leclerc in particular challenging Norris. Piastri's fantastic move around the outside, or lovely move around the outside Norris at turn 9. But really been a little bit typical first stint, I would say. You want to go as far as you can. We're watching at the moment now. We've dropped into the midfield to watch Hadjar, Ocon and Tsunoda battling. Specifically, really, Hadjar and Ocon. As it stands in the constructors, for those interested, Aston Martin would secure P7. Haas would stay 6th and 8th, and Sauber will be 9th. Sauber only a point as it stands, by the way, off Haas for P8. And because they've had a podium, of course, with Nico Hulkenberg, that would put them ahead of Haas if they were to tie on points. So that one's still going on. According to Wolf, yeah, that's sorry. I'm fine. Every now and again, it's just there. I don't know what it is. I haven't got a sore throat, and I haven't got a chesty cough. There's just something in there that just sets me off every now and again with a cough. But I will survive. Gasly is in the pits. 5-second time penalty for Liam Lawson for driving erratically for reasons we still don't know. We haven't seen a replay as of yet. But Gasly is pitted for a nice set of hard tyres. As Fudd said, though, it would be really nice to see what these collisions are for. How can Max win, says Zayan? He needs Norris to drop to 4th or lower. So he needs 2 more points. So he needs Norris to drop into P4. And the biggest threat to Norris is Leclerc, because he's still there, Leclerc. I mean, it's 1.4 seconds, but he is still there to pick up the pieces if Norris makes a mistake or has a sloppy pit stop. So it is possible. The problem is, with Piastri P2, even if Leclerc did get through into 3rd place and Norris was 4th, McLaren are just going to tell Piastri to drop down to 4th place and let Leclerc and Norris through for Norris to take the title. So really what Verstappen needs is for Leclerc to be for Norris to be 5th or lower. But Russell has pitted, by the way. That's early. Medium tyre, 20 to 20. So he might be 2 stopping here. So lap 15 to 21 or lap 11 to 17 for mediums. So he might be 2 stopping, Russell. We'll see. We'll see. Also in Hadjar, Bearman. I think Gasly's triggered a few stops there, hasn't he? But yeah, really what Max needs is for Norris to be P5, because then even if McLaren swap positions, it doesn't matter. But yeah, Norris is doing all he needs to at the moment. Currently Hamilton, sorry, but Hamilton's jumped them. So 15th for Hamilton, 16th Hulkenberg, 17th Hamilton. Hadjar drops to 18th, Bearman to 19th. Nick says Piastri faster than Verstappen on harder tyres. I think Piastri will win the race. I think McLaren have been managing a little bit because their pace has picked up. Particularly, like you say, Piastri there. Although a 10th slower than Max on that lap, but we'll see what he does here. Fastest first sector, so maybe Max do it. I mean, I think there'll be a lot of management at the front because this is a bit of a borderline one stop. So I can imagine Verstappen and Piastri want as few variables as possible, won't they? So they're going to want they're not going to pit more than once, is what I'm thinking here. So we've had some on softs already. AM Hamilton, Hulkenberg, and Albon started on the softs. You can run the softs towards the end on a grippy track on lower fuel. Should be able to do a good few laps on them. So we might, if we get a late safety car as Bortoletto pits, we might see some late soft tyres. In fact, Bortoletto maybe go for the undercut here on Alonso. I believe the undercut's quite powerful, isn't it, in Abu Dhabi? So specifically at the Yas Marina Circuit, it doesn't work on the main roads. Obviously, your undercut. So Colapinto's pitted too. He started 18th now. He's put the mediums on for the start, and he's going to put a set of, I'm going to guess, hard tyres. When we see you exit the pit lane, we'll find out. Hard tyres, yes, there we go. Norris on the radio. Keep building this gap on Leclerc. It gives us choices. So they did have more pace there for sure. It's quite strange though. Zaya's just said in chat, this is full on terror for Max fans. As a Max fan, I can say right now, it's a strange feeling. I want him to win it, but I'm not going to be totally devastated if he doesn't, because he was not really in this until really only a few races ago. So this comeback has been phenomenal as Norris pits. So whatever happens this season, it's been an incredible year for Max Verstappen. So obviously it would be nice to have the title, but I'm not going to be as upset as if this was his first championship, for example. Norris' pit was good. Leclerc's in as well. So's Alonso. So they're going for undercuts there. Or Norris is going for an undercut, I think, on Piastri maybe. Just we'll see. 2.1 for Norris. Important to keep an eye on the pit stop times today. They could be critical. 2.1 for Norris. So remember that, chat. Oh, it's got a great pit exit. It's one of the few things that I like about the track. The pit exit's fantastic. You can't even make a mistake in there, can you? So Norris is behind Antonelli, which is interesting. Piastri on the radio. Oscar, do you think we could do plan A? Thoughts on plan A? And Oscar says, yes, I think it's doable for now. So there you go. Norris needs to clear this traffic. McLaren haven't just done to Lando what Ferrari did to Fernando, have they? They've pitted him into traffic for some reason. They're saying you had to react to Russell, but at that, you're covering the wrong driver, aren't you, again? I know all of those have got a pit, so it's not as drastic as 2010, but as it stands, Max Verstappen would be the world champion. But that's through the pit stops. There's no point getting too excited about that. When this all shakes out, Norris will be back up to P3 or 4 and be ready to chase down P3 for sure. So Leclerc and Russell very close on track. I think Verstappen and Piastri here have got a bit of time now to react, haven't they? If they feel they need to. So Norris in traffic, still tucked up behind Antonelli here, but he is close. Russell on the radio. If that's not moving under braking, I don't know what is, says George. George Russell moaning on the radio, never. Norris has sent it on Antonelli into turn 5. And he gets it done. Yes, he does. Oh, that was credit where it's due. That was a risky move. But Antonelli has DRS. Is he going to bite back at Norris? This is because Norris will have to go defensive. Antonelli all over the back of him. So he hangs on in there, Norris. So, yeah, he's kept that position. Now he's got to try and pass Carlos Sainz. Lance Stroll's up to P5, by the way. Tsunoda P4, Ocon P3. Stop the count. And there goes Norris on Sainz. We also had, I believe, is that Lawson and Stroll battling that we've got just ahead? Yes, it is. Lawson going through on Stroll. That was a nice, easy move on Sainz. So Norris is making his way through, but now he's got a Lance Stroll to deal with and a Liam Lawson, who has a penalty, of course. 5-second time penalty at the moment. Yeah. This is... Norris is doing what he's getting through. He's doing what he needs to do here. Leclerc and Russell noted moving under braking. Sainz is in the pits for the... Yeah. Is Piastri gaining 400ths on that lap? So he has closed in a bit. 2.7 to stop for Sainz in the end. So Norris will get a good run at Stroll here, I'd imagine. Who won't fight this too hard. But Stroll has got the DRS on Lawson. Now, what's Lawson going to do? Going to go defensive? Oh, I thought he put in a squeeze there on Lando Norris, but I think he was more defending against Stroll. I just wondered for a second there, but no, that's a good double overtake there for Lando and into some clear air. Up to, who's ahead of him? Oh, of course it is. It's Yuki Tsunoda. Oh, this is Lawson having another go here around the outside of Lando Norris at turn 9. They are side by side. Whoa, Lawson, a bit too much grip there for Lando Norris, and Norris does hang on. But Lawson challenging him there, which is interesting. It is one of the 4 Red Bulls out there, so maybe not a surprise, but there you go. Lawson having a go. So next up for Norris is Tsunoda, 3.5 seconds back. Verstappen and Piastri separated by 1.7 seconds at the front. Ocon 22 back. Ocon pits now. Verstappen has a 28-second gap over Piastri. I mean, surely Red Bull now just leave Tsunoda out, surely. So here's the moving under braking then. I assume. So here goes Leclerc. Gets the run at George Russell and runs to turn 6. Through he goes. No, that's against Antonelli, not Russell. So we need to see the Russell one, not Antonelli. I don't know why I'm watching that, but there you go. Whatever. This is Leclerc now all over the back of Lance Stroll. Should get that one done nice and easy. Does indeed. Sorry, that wasn't Russell. I thought we were going to get a move out under braking there, but no. In fact, Leclerc's going to have a go at Lawson as well and do both of them on the run 2 and into turn 6. Nicely done. Up into 5th place, sorry, for Charles Leclerc. Tsunoda, yeah. I think if you're Red Bull, you just leave Tsunoda out. If you're Norris, you just stay away from him. I think is what we want there. So Lawson and Stroll have been noted for a turn 6 incident. I don't know what that'll be, but we'll see. Tsunoda 25 seconds off the lead. Norris 28.3 off the lead, 3 seconds behind Tsunoda. Leclerc quicker than Norris by a tenth, 1.6 behind on that lap. As he done on his Lyco, can he just get on with it now and go racing? Lap 21 of 58, 38 laps to go. Max Verstappen leads the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix from Oscar Piastri and Yuki Tsunoda, all three at the front yet to stop. Lando Norris has pitted, he's in 4th place, closing in on Tsunoda and has just had to battle his way through some traffic. 21 seconds you're losing a pit stop for those asking. Charles Leclerc, P5, was threatening Norris early on, starting to close in again, 3/10 on that lap. Liam Lawson, P6, he has a penalty for driving erratically and maybe under investigation again soon. Tsunoda, we expect Norris to be in your DRS within 1 lap, or you can when he catches, so he is going to have to do the fighting here. Stroll moves ahead of Lawson for P6, Lawson to P7. George Russell P8 and 9th for Kimi Antonelli, with 10th for Lewis Hamilton. It's 11th for Nico Hulkenberg, 12th for Fernando Alonso, 13th for Bortoletto, 14th for Albon, 15th for Isack Hadjar, 16th Bearman, 17th Ocon, 18th Sainz. Lawson, Stroll again swapping places. Sainz 18th, Gasly 19th, and Colapinto in 20th place as George Russell makes his way past Lance Stroll and then again past Liam Lawson. That looked like a really good sequence of corners there for George on the run to the hotel. Let's see that again on board. That would have been fun rather than the picture-in-picture. Full picture would have been good. But yeah, the gap at the front, 2.2 seconds. Tsunoda says, I know what to do, so leave it to me. So just as he approaches Yuki Tsunoda, thank you to, we've got over 200 of you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is my new channel, so it's great to see so many of you here. Please do subscribe if you are new. Lots to come in 2026. A relatively quiet end to 2025, as you'd expect, but yeah, loads in 2026. And please do drop a like on the stream as well. And get involved in chat. I might not be able to answer all of your questions, but I'll always try and keep an eye on chat and answer what I can. So, yeah, please do get involved. It's all about community here. So, likes and subs, greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for your support. We're not close. We're pretty close to monetization as well. So, if the sooner we get there, sooner we can put a lot of focus on this. So, looking forward to it. Particularly next year, but today's all about this, the championship battle, and what a battle as well. Norris now on the back of Yuki Tsunoda. This is gonna, can he fight like an animal? Like Sergio Perez? Going to be interesting. This is going to be a bit nervy, I'd imagine, for Norris, but you know, he knows how to race, so I'm not expecting Tsunoda to stick him in the wall, famous last words. I don't think we're getting down to that, but he's going to be backing him up through this sector, I'd imagine, and really causing him all sorts of problems. So let's see what happens. How hard is he willing to fight? Really, how hard is Lando willing to fight? He can sit there in P4 and then take P3 when Yuki inevitably pits, or he can go for a banzai move. Let's find out. Leclerc is only 1.4 behind Norris. They're desperately trying to get Norris behind Leclerc. That's what they're doing. Dirty air, absolutely, AM. That's what we're watching here. But yeah, it puts Leclerc in his DRS. So it's all part of the game. It's a team sport. You know, McLaren will swap their drivers around if they need to help Norris win that title, or vice versa. Although it wouldn't work the way around, would it? But you know what I mean. And Red Bull have every right to use their drivers to back Norris up. The problem for McLaren is that Red Bull have 4 cars, 3 to help Verstappen. And here goes Norris. And Norris is that'll be track limits. That won't be allowed to stand. I think he was off the track there. Tsunoda shoved him well to the outside, but I think he overtook him off the track. I think Lando will have to let him back through. That could be a penalty, but is he going to take... Oh, it's 10 seconds, isn't it, if you sprint up the road? So Yuki, clever there. Black and white flag for track limits for Liam Lawson. So Tsunoda didn't fight quite as hard as Sergio Perez, but I think Norris needs to give that back. Verstappen told to box. We'll need to see that. I'm reacting live. We'll see a replay. He may well have had a wheel on the white line. We'll soon find out. But yeah, I think as Piastri takes over the lead, which means Norris would be champion if it stayed like this, and Piastri would move into P2. Verstappen drops to third. In fact, Verstappen is going to come out ahead of Norris in P2. So yeah, let's see. Just this is again TV direction. I know they're watching a pit stop, but frustration here is we need to see a replay of that. You've got clear air. Let's see how this tyre recovers, is what Piastri's done. I guess Piastri's only hope is to go as long as possible and maybe even safety car hang a little bit. Tsunoda and Norris has been noted. Let's have a look. So was Norris all 4 wheels over the white line? What do you think? Chat, let's have a look. The onboard might not be the best angle. I think all 4 wheels are off on the onboard there, but let's see. Martin Brundle saying you can't weave like that, but I mean, can. Norris wasn't alongside him. He was trying to break the toe. It depends how close he was, I suppose. But So Martin Brother saying you can't do what Tsunoda just did, but I think overtaking off track, you can't do that either. So is this going to be 6 to one, half to the other, or a penalty for both? See what they decide. But yeah, Norris has now sprinted clear. But yeah, Yuki Tsunoda, I mean, if he gets a 10-second penalty for that, then maybe it was good. But didn't exactly do an epic job there, did he? I think he backed again. Different car, easier for the second driver in that Red Bull in 2021 in that car, but Sergio Perez, like an animal, wasn't he? As they described on the radio. So, yeah. The thing is though, when you're where's the line? This is what I don't understand, and maybe there is something in regulations someone could point me to, but I don't know where's the line between weaving to break the toe and weaving to defend? Because if you move across to defend, then you come back again, then yeah, that's fine. That's 2 moves. But was Yuki weaving to break the toe? We see it all the time. I mean, you want to get really funny about it. Max Verstappen, back to 2021, was weaving down to turn 6 after he passed Hamilton at turn 5. It's what I'm asking you, chat, is if you know if there's like a predetermined gap for that to be. Do you know what I mean? So if you are this far behind 2 car lengths, you know the car behind is 2 car lengths behind, you're allowed to weave, but if he's 1 car length behind, you're not allowed. That's what I don't understand. Or is it just at the steward's discretion, in which case we're all screwed, aren't we? If it's at the steward's discretion, we're all finished. Charles Leclerc got past Yuki Tsunoda much easier there than Lando Norris did. So they are noting Tsunoda for forcing another driver off the track. So well done, Yuki. You did a cracking job, mate. That's all I'm wondering about. So what the rule is for the weave, that's something we can discuss in the winter. It's not one for today. But then Norris has also been noted for leaving the track and getting an advantage. How could so if Tsunoda's found guilty, let's say, for forcing another driver off the track, and then Norris is penalised for leaving the track and getting an advantage, how's that fair? If he's been forced off track, I don't bloody know. That those two, they seem to, I mean, they're different penalties, aren't they? They just seem to contradict each other a little bit there, but maybe they'll both get a penalty. We'll see. I don't know what the penalty is, though. That's Triple AM. I know that it used to be 5, and then George Russell got cocky in Monaco, didn't he? I went, I'll take the 5-second penalty. I can make that time up having cut the chicane. So the stewards went, fine, here's 10. And that became a standard then, didn't it, for a while? Or felt like it did. 10-second penalty. So I don't know what they do here, but 10-second penalty. Martin Brundle saying the same. How can you penalise somebody for forcing somebody off the track, but then penalise the other driver for leaving the track getting advantage? But I suppose the stewards would argue you were forced off track, but you still overtook off track and you should have given that place back. Then we'd have penalised Tsunoda and not penalised you. So maybe that's how the stewards would view it. But yeah. They may call it a 6 of one, half of the other, and just leave it, but let's see. Yeah, that's what I was thinking there. And they might 5-second time penalty for Liam Lawson, by the way, driving erratically. That was penalty served. Sorry, I apologise. Turtle Casters have just joined. What happens? Why is Piastri so far ahead? Piastri hasn't pitted yet, mate. So we are. He's yet to stop. Everybody apart from him, Tsunoda, Stroll, and Antonelli have pitted. Verstappen's pitted, obviously, therefore, and Norris. So he's leading through the pit stops. But I think he is still net P. Oh, he's not net P2, is he? He's net P3 here at the moment because Piastri is. He's only 20. Oh, he just get out ahead of him, I think, if he had a clean pit stop. But he's rapidly going to end up at net 3P. I think McLaren, they're either safety car hanging or definitely pushing for a one-stopper here. So that's where we are. But Lee says Yuki left enough space for Norris to keep 2 wheels on the track. There's a part of me in my head going, I want to read the regulations now, but I'm not going to do it while we're live. I'm just intrigued by the weaving thing. It's bugging me now whether there's a pre-prescribed gap you can have, but we'll see. We shall see what the stewards decide, but we might get 2 penalties here. So we'll see what they decide to do. But I mean, if Norris gets a 10-second penalty, or a 5-second penalty and falls behind Leclerc, McLaren, if Verstappen is leading, will just drop Piastri behind Leclerc and Norris will be back in championship position. So what Red Bull need is for Norris to be disqualified for terrible driving, but it's never going to happen. That's what they really need. So, that's you've got to remember Piastri is the one that will be asked to hop out of the way. And I think he will. There's a few people that think that he might not, but I think he will. I think he'll follow that. Maybe 10 seconds each. Yeah, 10 seconds will be quite Norris is 11 clear of Russell, so that might be a little bit squeaky bum time for Lando. As we watch a replay here of Fernando Alonso passing Kimi and Antonelli on the run to turn 6 with 2 wheels still on the track and 2 wheels off the track. That's how you do it. Look, that track does sort of come in, just comes to a point almost, doesn't it, on that straight? So, or sort of closes in a bit. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Norris 20 seconds. So at the moment, Norris would come out ahead of Piastri, or Piastri would come out behind Norris after his pit stop. So Piastri is going to have to go racing. When do FIA have to give notice of penalty? When they're ready. They can wait to the end of the race if they want. You wouldn't want that, would you? Could you imagine, right? I'm trying to tempt fate at the FIA make a decision either way. I don't care either way, just make a decision. But could you imagine Verstappen wins, Piastri second, Norris third. Norris is 2 seconds clear of Leclerc and 8 seconds clear of Russell, and he gets a 10-second penalty post-race. Could you imagine? Oh, my days. McLaren would be appealing that if they're allowed to, wouldn't they, pretty quickly? Difficult to overturn in race penalties, to be fair. But yeah, we don't want this investigated after the race. If that pops up, I'll be furious. And I'm a grumpy old git anyway, so I'll be even more angry then. So. What was going to check? I was going to check something then. I forgot what I was going to check. Sorry. So let's do a couple of. Yeah, there we go. Sorted. I'm going to end that poll that I forgot to end, by the way. Bit late now asking a question, isn't it? But yeah, I will say, I know a lot of you will already be subscribed, but there's 250 of you here. We are actually less than 200 away from the magic 1,000. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe and help to get this channel monetized so we can go into 2026 on a high. 5-second time penalty for Yuki Tsunoda, more than one change of direction. So we might get a decision in a moment, see what the stewards decide on Lando Norris. So yes, please do subscribe. And let's try and get, if we got to that 1,000 today or this weekend, it'd be incredible. We've still got the race reactions to do as well. But I know it's a big ask, but you guys have done some pretty amazing stuff as well in the past. No further action. Norris and Tsunoda leaving the track and gaining an advantage. So Norris has not been given a penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. They obviously felt that. I mean, one nitpick here. Tsunoda was being investigated for forcing another driver off track. He's been given a penalty for more than one change of direction, which are two different investigations. So, but I think that's a little bit controversial because whilst Yuki was weaving, Lando did overtake off track, unless the FIA have an angle that shows that he's got part of a wheel on the white line that we haven't seen. They've got CCTV, telemetry, AI, all sorts of stuff helping them. So we'll see. There might be something post-race that Anthony Davidson or somebody looks at. But I think that's a little bit contentious. But at the same time, like Martin Brundle said, you're forced off track. What can you do? But then you also don't have to keep the position if you've been forced off track, do you? So you could just give that place back. But he'd have got Yuki a corner later if he needed to. Interesting. Championship-wise, Norris currently champ. Piastri P2, Verstappen P3, but Piastri is yet to stop. Bear that in mind. Aston Martin now well clear. 15, I think that is clear of Haas. And Sauber now 4 behind, so that's not happened. Black and white track limit warning for Antonelli, by the way. Catalina says, what needs to happen so Oscar can win? Pretty much for everybody else to explode, I think. Poor Oscar. He needs a lot to go his way. Hamilton's got a black and white flag as well for track limits. He cannot finish lower than second. And he needs, if he was to win, for example, he needs Norris, I think it's 8th or lower. Hulkenberg and Gasly on track limit penalty warnings are now black and white flags. So Piastri needs Norris to have a stinker, and for Verstappen to... Actually, a win and Verstappen P2 is enough for Piastri, so he still needs them to have a stinker, really. And they finally finished reviewing Leclerc and Russell, by the way. No further investigation for moving under braking, so they prioritised that one for the championship, which I do appreciate, to be fair. So yeah, I'm not sure there. Yeah, that's got a real squabble going. We're watching on board with Verstappen here, but I think there's a really nice fight going on. Ocon, Hulkenberg, and Antonelli I'd like to be watching in the big picture. On the run to turn 8 and through into the DRS, there's Ocon alongside, around the outside of Hulkenberg on the run to turn 9. He is going to get through. Will he have a go at Antonelli as well? He's thinking about it, but no, not quite. Not quite. Never say never, Catalina. Never say never. We've had some. I don't know how many years you've been watching F1, but we've had some very, very strange moments in F1 where things have twisted right at the end. So never say never for Oscar, but he does need a lot of help from others, I'm afraid. But you know, I hate the phrase, but them's the breaks. That's how seasons work, isn't it? It's up to, a lot of us felt that Oscar had this pretty much in the bag and just needed to prost his way to the championship after Zandvoort, and it all fell apart for him. So it could twist again. Hamilton's pitted for a second time. He's going to go on to 2.1 second stop. I'm going to guess mediums. I haven't seen yet. That's my guess. And my guess was wonderful. He is on medium tyres. There you go. Leclerc within DRS. No, he's 3.1 behind Norris at the moment. So not quite. He's getting close, though, to be fair. I'm just checking the driver tracker. I feel like the driver tracker's off a little bit, but I don't think it is. No, maybe half a... No, about right. That's okay. So it's all happening. I mean... Lance Stroll P7, Alonso P8 is really helping Aston Martin here. Stroll will drop back when he pits. On that note, yet to stop is Piastri, Tsunoda, Stroll, and Antonelli. Hamilton's pitted twice, and those guys haven't pitted once. So, you know, Lance Stroll and co are hanging on out there. Doing the best they can. But those hard tyres, theoretically, Pirelli said pre-race can do 39 to 45 laps. So they've got a way still to go if they want to. But, yeah, we're watching this unfold in front of our eyes. It's all it's not as tense as I feared. As in comes Tsunoda here to serve his 5-second penalty and do his pit stop. Nick's on it about track limits. Nick, not a fan of all these track limit warnings and whatnot. Stick gravel there or a wall. Colapinto's got a track limits warning as well. But yeah. And that's Ocon having a go and getting through on Antonelli on the run to turn 6. These are big points for Haas, by the way. They need to chase down Fernando Alonso. And I know that you've got the wind tunnel time, the CFD time to think of next season. But never underestimate how important each position is in the Constructors' Championship. It's, give or take, it's estimated around $10 million. So if Haas can get ahead of Aston Martin in the Constructors, it's another $10 million. So, you know, money makes the world go round and all that. But yeah. I guess... I mean, Oscar Piastri's that's 1.1 seconds a lap slower at the moment than Max Verstappen, and a second lap slower than his teammate. So, whatever they're doing, I'm not convinced this is... or is this what they're doing? It's just dawned on me, sorry. Chances of Piastri winning this title are slim now. We have got 25 laps to go. Run him long, pit him. He's going to drop behind Leclerc, which also puts him behind Norris, of course, doesn't it? So, I don't know. I don't know if there's safety car hanging or whether they're just hoping something comes to them. Yeah. So I just listened to GP there, just talking about the pace Piastri might have on the medium. Doesn't want to lose any time. So, I mean, Piastri will come back at them, but yeah, they are getting ready for a stop at McLaren. Well, they're Lando's tyres, interestingly. As Albon makes his second stop, medium tyres for him. And rejoins just behind Antonelli. He's P20 as Albon. Hey, Kevin. How you doing, mate? Hope you've had a good night. Ready for whatever happens next. You've missed quite a bit, but also it also is a little bit typical Abu Dhabi as well. There's action. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen here, but yeah. Bit of contention as well. Yeah, red flag for extra pit stop or free pit stop. Good point. Yeah, could help. Still wouldn't be enough for Piastri for the title, though, would it? It'd put him 6. Is that 6 behind Norris? Yeah. So he still needs... Verstappen and Piastri still need Norris to have problems. Norris being told he's doing a great job. Leclerc may pit to go on a 2. So one to keep an eye on with 24 laps to go. This is looking increasingly likely. Not massively surprisingly, with a 12-point lead coming into the finale, that Lando Norris has got this all covered for his first World Championship. Which means I'll be able to say that I was called a dickhead by an F1 World Champion. In a bantery way. I did nothing wrong, I swear. Yeah. Farzan says, I trusted Leclerc. It's never over till it's over, says Neelish. Absolutely, but you know how I like to try and jinx things for a bit of drama. Jonathan said, we need to unleash Gotifi to spice things up. Stop it, Jonathan. Stop it. Terrible. I hope you're well, mate. McLaren can't pit Lando. Surely he needs to mirror Leclerc and Russell. Well, Leclerc may go to the 2. His best shot at a podium today. I tell you what, Piastri's going to have a lot of work to do here with what's probably about 20 laps to go, maybe 21 when he pits, but we'll see how long they leave him out for. But he's only 7 seconds clear of Verstappen. He dropped behind Leclerc. He's well clear of Russell. Tsunoda did serve his penalty, by the way. This is Lewis Hamilton versus, I think, is that Pierre Gasly or Franco Colapinto? It's Franco Colapinto. Passing in the DRS down the long straight to turn 6. Albon's been noted for speeding in the pit lane. That is likely to be a penalty, generally speaking. When you cut the beam in the pits and it says this guy's speeding, it generally means they're speeding. So not a lot in that one. Rarely that they don't end up as a penalty. Norris very close to the wall there. We'll see. That could be a pivotal corner. Piastri on the radio, or his engineer is, how's this tyre now? He says, yeah, the rear is starting to get a bit worse now. Not surprised. He's been on his Haas for 36 laps, so I forgot it was on the Haas. That's why he's running so long, isn't it? As Hamilton passes Gasly. He's got a couple of laps before the pit window opens, though, so see how we go. Are they all needing to go for 2 stops? Piastri looks like he's going for 1. I don't think they need to go for 2 stops. I think Verstappen, for example, can go to the end. He did 23 on the medium, so he should be able to go on to the end from there on the hards. Not going to be great at the end, but he should be okay. Norris doesn't have to pit again, but then he may come under threat from Leclerc if Leclerc does pit again. Stroll hasn't pitted at all either, so he's got to pit. But yeah, I mean, Hamilton, for example, and Albon, they've both pitted twice, but they also started on the soft, so I would expect Hulkenberg to pit again as well, because he started on the soft, so we shall see. But yeah, I think Verstappen 5.2 behind now, still 1.2 seconds a lap quicker. Addy Boy says it's over now, unless a safety car comes out or a red flag. Well, Addy Boy, you'll know. Never say never when it comes to safety. You just never know, do you? Think the stranger things have happened. It's my first season watching F1, says Marsha. Welcome. I hope you've enjoyed your first. It's been a good first season, actually, to choose. Good job you picked 2023 as your first season. That might be a bit boring for you, but yeah, no, it's been a good season, so you've picked a good one. Oscar Piastri into turn 5 as the race leader, 4.6. Because they are starting to move in a McLaren garage now as Verstappen does a 27.7 and goes, 1.4 quicker than Piastri on that lap. Yeah, there've definitely been worse seasons, Red Raven. There have been some stinkers, but some people might say 2004, for example, but for me, that was a great season because my drive was dominating. So, same in 2023. I was quite happy with that, but yeah. A lot of people ran away from F1 in 2023. We're not getting to that. Albon is under investigation for pit lane speeding. That, again, will be a slam dunk. Expecting that to be a penalty pretty soon. We shall see. You never know. Ash says, looks like softs for Oscar, do you reckon? Yeah, because you could do 39 to 45 on the medium. And then you can do the hard, and then you can put the soft onto the end. So if I were Oscar, there you go, Albon, 5-second time penalty. I would probably try and go as far as the tyres will take it. I mean, in theory, the hard will probably do the full race. But I'd give it a couple more laps and come in with maybe sort of 17, 18 to go. Just to give yourself a bit of cover on the softs, because you never know with those buddies. I mean, at the start, they only did 8 laps. But track's rubbing in, fuel load has come down. We'll see. But I think, yeah, softs could be good for Oscar. Paula says 2023 was great. I was very happy with 2023, Paula. I say, hey, Paula. I hope you're all right, Paula. I can say, Paula, there you go. 4 times I said your name. I hope you know I'm talking to you there. How I just imagined it, says Red Raven, or how Sainz and Albon's seasons drastically flipped from Albon carrying the team to Sainz catching up. Now Sainz seems to be the clear number 1. Yeah, no. It was one of the things I want to talk about with John T in the Christmas stream, which I think will be the 21st, Sunday the 21st. We'll also do our driver of the season, rookie of the season, race of the season. We'll have a bit of a laugh with that. But yeah, the flip at Williams, it came out of nowhere. Albon seemed to have it under control, didn't he, with all the points he picked up early doors, and then Carlos Sainz has just turned up. So good to see, actually. I said that battle was going to be close, but I wasn't expecting it to be Albon for half a season and then Sainz for the other half. And there goes Lewis Hamilton passing the Racing Bulls of Isack Hadjar. A bit of an anonymous race, actually, for Racing Bulls, which, given that Lawson's had 1 penalty and a couple of investigations, I mean, maybe not, but yeah. Hanish says, at this point, I think Lando will take it. Yeah, it's looking good. He seems to have this covered now, doesn't he? And even if, I've said this a few times, but just for anyone tuning in, even if he dropped to 4th place, if Piastri's ahead, as Leclerc pits, by the way, one to keep an eye on then, if he does end up P4, then McLaren are just going to drop Piastri behind Leclerc, if you like, and Norris, and that's the title anyway. So McLaren have options, and this is why Red Bull needed a second driver who could be up there with Max Verstappen. If they had a second driver there today, and in the recent races, they could have made a big difference. But having said that, Yuki Tsunoda didn't put up a particularly impressive fight, did he, against Norris? I mean, he caused him problems, but he was the one who got the penalty, and Norris was allowed to overtake him off track. So there you go. Very weird. It was no Sergio Perez, was it? Norris is told to box. They're going to box Lando Norris. Now then. He will come out ahead of Russell by about 4 or 5 seconds. So he has got the gap there. So they're trying to cover Leclerc. So Norris is going to pit first. And Verstappen is now on the back of Oscar Piastri. This is interesting. Because Piastri will want to fight this hard, but then he's got to think about his final stint, hasn't he? And whatever they decide to do. So Norris is going to pit. So he will come out ahead of Russell. Should just about have the gap. I mean, Leclerc's 2.3 behind George. So unless this is a bad stop, which, you know, don't put it past McLaren. Looked a little bit, 2.4 seconds. So 0.3 slower than his first stop, but still pretty clean and tidy there. So here goes Verstappen now. He's getting the run on Oscar Piastri, who surely has to go defensive. He doesn't go defensive. Oscar... sure. Maybe just hasn't got the tyres to fight, but I was expecting him to at least force Verstappen to the outside, but he almost waved him through. Not quite. Didn't quite wave him through, of course. That was a joke and a flippant comment. I know the internet take flippant comments and like to start abusing people for it, but yeah, that was just a joke. Yeah, not much of a fight there from Oscar, but I guess, has he got the tyres to fight? That's the question. Is he just going to lose himself even more time in that situation? So Norris is still champion as it stands like that, as it stands. So Piastri is going to pit 28 seconds back to Norris. So he's got the gap that he needs. But critically for Norris, he's got a gap of 5 seconds to Russell and a little bit more to Leclerc. Will Russell pit again? When did he stop? Lap 14. 26 laps on those hards. So already. 2.2 for Piastri in the pits. So now his job is to chase down Mr. Max Verstappen. What tyre did he put on? He's put on the question mark, the medium tyre. There we go. So he has gone medium, not soft. 17 laps. I think he could have got the soft to the end, but would there have been any life in him by the time he caught Verstappen anyway? So he's got 24 seconds to make up in 17 laps. He's going to be rapid on this tyre, but that seems like a lot, doesn't it? So just to confirm, it's popped up on screen again. Back to where we were. Norris is champion by 2 points. As it stands. Neelis says, and this is sarcasm, Neelis says, Piastri favouritism, they gave him a faster pit stop than Norris. Hadjar's on lap time deleted for track limits at turn 1 on lap 41, and there goes Charles Leclerc past George Russell. Do we think Russell pits again, chat? 27 laps on these already, another 17. That's a lot, isn't it, on these hard tyres? But then, I don't know. I mean, you could do, as I keep saying, Pirelli said you could do up to 45 laps on them, so maybe not. Piastri's radio. They're going to see whether he can chase down Verstappen. Leclerc 5.6 behind Norris. I think Lando's okay here. I think I'll just double check for you, but I think Norris on the hards, because he only had a fresh set of hards. He didn't have a fresh set of mediums. He used those at the start, so he had 2 fresh sets of hards. So that's why he's on those ones. Just to clear that one up. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Max isn't going to let this go, is he, the win? He's not going to. Leclerc's just done a 27.2, which is just a nice casual 9/10 quicker than Lando Norris on that lap. So, AM says Piastri too far ahead to let him behind. You mean let him go? Oh, no, if McLaren need Piastri to let Leclerc and Norris through, if Leclerc was to pass Norris, Piastri will stop on track and let him go, pretty much. I think we had a brief yellow flag there, didn't we? Or has it just gone green for no reason on my thing? But Stroll's in the pits, or on his way out of the pits. Hulkenberg's in for his second stop. Yeah, they'll find a way to make sure that Piastri lets Norris go. It's only 4.7 seconds, though, so... Charles Leclerc is pushing hard, but I'm not convinced that even it just doesn't matter, does it? They could just swap them over. So, like I say, they need, what Red Bull need for Verstappen is for Norris to be P5, so that Piastri letting him through makes no difference. But Verstappen told that Piastri will need to be a second and a half quicker every lap. Last lap he was 0.6 quicker, so that's not enough. So Verstappen could look after his tyres a little bit, but he doesn't want to lose too much time. He's got a 23.7 second gap. Yeah, if the race, that's a good point. Well, here's the thing. I like saying here's the thing when I have an idea. You may have noticed. But AM says, not if the race finishes under safety car, then Piastri can't let Norris through. You're right, but McLaren could pull Piastri in for a pit stop that allows Norris to get through. under the safety car. So he can't let him go on track, but they could pull Piastri in. There are ways they could do it within the rules. So, yeah. There are ways. There are ways. Plus, if they want to ask Piastri to pull over on track and retire the car, they can do under safety car. So I'm not saying they would do that. I'm just saying that there are options. They can't overtake under the safety car, but you can still do other things. So Oscar is told, is asking, what's the picture in front? How do I win this race? He was told Verstappen is in your pit window. He is doing 27.9. That's a good lap from Piastri, though. He's 1.1 quicker than Verstappen on lap. 26.7 place 27.8. So that's a good lap from Piastri. That very good lap. Red Bull might as well tell Yuki to slow down and drive into Lando. Nick says, I think Yuki would miss. Yeah, got it a bit wrong, didn't they? Yeah. Verstappen did pass Pierre Gasly in the traffic he had, according to Martin Brundle there. So maybe that's where some of that time went. Yeah, I guess. Verstappen's done a 17.5 in the first section. It's a 17.4 for Piastri. This is going to be, I mean, Leclerc matching Norris matching Leclerc, whichever way you want to look at it. So that fight is over at the moment, 14 to go. It's not been a thriller, but it's been tense enough and there's been enough going on just to keep us interested. So that's good. That is good. I didn't want this to be a total snooze fest, but it's also not been that dramatic. Some good stuff in the midfield, don't get me wrong. And Piastri's move on the opening lap on Norris was really good around the outside of turn 9. So Jonathan says, Esti, Bestie and Bearman looking good to nobble Aston. Let's have a look at that then, shall we? Because Bearman passes Lewis Hamilton. 5 points in it still. Gasly's been noted for track limits. That's going to be a penalty. He had a black and white flag already. Bearman's now dropped back behind Hamilton, so he's going to lose that. But yeah, Haas have a chance here, but they need to get Alonso. And it's looking very unlikely now that Sauber are going to be doing anything in terms of moving up in the championship. But yeah, Gasly under investigation after track limits. That'll be a 5-second time penalty. We know that one. Only options are a mechanical DNF or an after race rules infringement penalty, says AM. Abu Dhabi gave its best within the limits of its ability, says Red Raven. Well, somebody said yesterday, it might have been you actually, Red Raven, I can't remember who it was, but they said yesterday that they had infinite money and a desert and a blank canvas, and this is what they built. You think, yeah, about right. 5-second penalty for Gasly, as expected there for track limits. So, if Verstappen were to pit now, it'd be 1.1 clear of Piastri according to that graphic, but now it'd be about 7/10. So Verstappen isn't pitting, 12 to go. There's no need to. He can keep going. He's got last lap only 6/10 slower than Piastri, so that was all fine. It wasn't Red Raven. There you go. Somebody did. I can't remember who it was. I'm sure that pop up and go, it was me. Give me credit, Sean, please. It was my idea. I will say, Red Raven, actually, while you're here, I don't know if you caught it earlier in the stream, but Moray popped into the comments to remind me we haven't had 2 German world champions. We've had 3 because Nico Rosberg was a world champion. But I'm going to ask you as a German, do you count him? A lot of people don't count him. They call him Finnish, but he raced under a German license. He is German, isn't he? So we said it was 2 yesterday. It was actually officially 3. So I just cleared that one up. But I'd be interested to know how you view Rosberg in that context. I mean, we could have this argument a lot, couldn't we? Alex Albon raced under a Thai flag, but he is actually he was born in London. I think Lando Norris is dual nationality as well, isn't he? He's Belgian and English. Max Verstappen's Belgian and Dutch, isn't he? So. Plenty of drivers we can have this conversation about. Is it Belgian and Dutch for Max? I'm sure it's Belgian and Dutch for Max. No, that's a very fair point, but too often think he was racing under a Finnish license, says Red Raven. Did he do that as a kid? Was he racing? Because, I mean, Oscar Piastri raced under a British license, didn't he? In his junior career, very junior career, so they've not pitted Verstappen. I don't think they're going to. He's got a comfortable gap here. I mean, last lap he was 9/10 slower. So if Piastri needs to gain 1.5 seconds a lap, it's not happening at the moment, is he? 11 laps to go. So Norris looking fairly comfortable here. Him and Leclerc on the same pace. So really a mechanical DNF, or as somebody said in chat a moment ago, some sort of mechanical issue at the end, a rules infringement is pretty much the only concern now for Norris. He seems to have Leclerc covered. Or a mistake. Mistakes can happen. And he's not catching Piastri. Although it's 10th quicker on the last lap, to be fair. They're both quicker than Max Verstappen, but is Max Verstappen nursing his tyres a bit as well? They've got fresh tyres on, of course. It's so amusing seeing race drivers do normal things like go to uni. Yeah. Latifi just got his MBA. That was it. Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, he's a good lad. Clay says, I'm calling it now. Is that the title? Is it done, mate? Are you? Is that it? Game over. Game over for the championship. Now here goes Antonelli here on what will be Isack Hadjar on the run to turn 9. Nice move. Is Hadjar going to sneak back up the inside? No, he's got that one done. He had a go, but yeah. That sausage curb needs to go as well. That raised curb needs to go as well, by the way. So, thing is, technically speaking, 4 Germans won the championship, says Red Raven. Jochen Rindt was German, but raced under an Austrian license. There you go. We probably can. There's probably a lot of semantics, I suppose, to argue in there, isn't there, for some drivers? But yeah, there you go. Sad Mariners fan who's not from Grimsby says that let down of a finale unless Charles can do a miracle. I remember saying it's all over back in 2021, says Clansom. I did the same, mate. Yeah, so cut to Michael Massey entering the paddock. Why not? That's such a weird laugh as well. Sorry, that was naughty. Hamilton fans get angry with me now. I'm sorry. It was just a joke. I think we can make little jokes every now and again now. It has been a few years, so we all know what happened. So Martin Brothers doing his usual chat here, as he does for a first race win or a championship. You're driving the car, it's all been fine. All of a sudden, every little noise makes you worry that something's going wrong. I'm intrigued by what they're going to say about this penalty for Norris. I know a lot of people are going to be upset by it, or the lack of penalty for Norris, but I want to see some replay, see if he was off track. The problem I have is, like I say, yeah, fine. You could argue the weaving from Yuki forced him off track if you want, but also if you ever take off track, you're not allowed to do that. So I feel like Norris could have given the place back and then just passed him at the next corner anyway, but he didn't get a penalty, so it's kind of irrelevant now. But Clancy says, I don't get angry with Sean water under the bridge. No worries. Well, to be fair, it wasn't my fault anyway, or was it? Yeah, rips off his mask. G'day, mate. Sure. Yeah, why not? Sure, Massey. I can assume they didn't count it as it was in a straight line, says Fudd. Still off the track though, isn't it? So, but that might be their reasoning. I don't know if the official documents come out tend to post race, don't they? So we'll have a look at that in the race reaction. Don't forget, we are live. Be about 3:30, I would say, UK time. So about an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes from now, live with Stuart for a classic F1 word race reaction, but on the new channel where they'll be living from now on. We'll talk about the race. We'll talk about the title decider, the season. Nice and chill, community driven like we used to do, like the good old days. Looking forward to that very much. So, was it not? If it wasn't flagged for if it wasn't flagged for track limits, then he may not have been over the white line. Then that might be what the stewards say, that he wasn't over the white line. Like I say, we got the onboard for Lando and the front shot. For all I know, there's a rear shot that the FIA have got that shows that his rear wheel is just touching the white line. If it's not been flagged for track limits, then that might be why. But Leclerc 27.2 on the last lap. It was a 26.9 for Norris. And Norris extending his gap now, looking very good with 8 to go. Lando Todd doing a fantastic job here, mate. Everything is looking good. There is 5 racing laps, including this one, we think. What are your thoughts on softs or staying out on this tyre? Says soft will be better. It's just if the safety car gets delayed or something, that becomes an issue. So they are talking safety car windows now. It's a good point, actually, because, yeah. Safety car now could blow this wide open again, but, yeah. There goes Nico Hulkenberg. Verstappen just had a lap time deleted for track limits. I think that's his first warning, actually, to be fair. So, I think I've got a thing I can check that on. Track limits tracker. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, that was Verstappen's second, to be fair. Yeah, Norris has not been flagged for track limits at all, Fud. No, you're right. So, I'm not saying that I doubted you. I'm just saying, yeah. So maybe that's why that's not a penalty then. He didn't leave the track. Looked like he had, but we'll see. Addy Boy says Red Bull protest the Lando overtake off track. I mean, they could do. They could do. But I can't see the stewards overturning that decision. How are we feeling, chat? Are we thinking this is this how you felt about the race? That's what I'm asking you. How you feel about the race so far with 7 laps to go? Sad Mariners fan, even if Lando was over the white line, who cares? It was a straight. I know, but off track is off track, Sad Mariners fan. That's the point. You overtake off track, then it's off the track. It doesn't matter if it's in a straight, in a corner, or upside down in a tunnel, which would be quite a thing to watch. But my argument is, if he's not been flagged for track limits, either that's not an area they monitor track limits, or he wasn't over the white line. So, yeah. But let's not forget, and then this will be a controversial take probably, but and like I say, this as a Verstappen fan, he was never in this to win it until very recently. So I'm very comfortable. If he wins this championship, I'll be over the moon. But it's just the fact that he was even in it in the finale when he was 104 points behind the championship leader just, 8 races ago? Something like that. I can't be disappointed with this season. I wouldn't forget the number 3 next year, though. And will Norris go with the number 1 or keep the number 4? I was sort of... just on this race, I'm sort of a little bit relieved. I know we've still got 6 laps and you never know, but I'm kind of a little bit relieved it hasn't been that controversial. I think I don't want to go into another winter like 21. You know, I just... That was difficult for everybody because you couldn't say a thing. If you exhaled about Formula One, it's like, why are you talking about this? Because I don't care. That's why I'm not talking about it. But it would have been nice for something interesting to happen. It's been tense, but yeah. Scientific Campbell says it's been a disappointing bland race. No spice detected. This is the worst race of the year, says Kevin. Oh no, Qatar was horrific. The only thing that made Qatar interesting was McLaren's cock up with the strategy. That was so bad. Red Raven says, I'm not a super fan either way, but Norris winning the crown gives me plenty of satisfaction given the anti-social media comments I've seen over the last year, and I am very glad that you and I do not have to have that conversation. No, you know me, Red Raven. I have my favourites in terms of teams and drivers, but I'd never get to that point and get involved in. I like to make little comments every now and again, just for a laugh, but I'd never get involved in the anti-social media nonsense that gets thrown around. Leclerc's on a black and white flag, by the way, for track limits, or should be in a moment, so something to keep an eye on. But yeah. All-wheel Dingus says everyone liked the video. Not quite. We've got 300 here, 65 likes. So a few more likes to be appreciated. And by the way, please do subscribe. We are live with the race reaction in about an hour's time with Stuart, a.k.a. Chamber. Yes, he's back with his wonderful beard and whatnot. So we're going to talk about the race. And we are pushing towards monetization. So if we can get as many of you subscribed as possible, I think I need less than 200. So as many as possible over the line before the end of the year, that'd be amazing. So please do drop a like and subscribe. subscribe. And if we get to 1,000 subscribers and we get monetized, I'll stop banging on about it. I've always said that. Hit a milestone, or when we're getting close to a milestone, I'll talk about it. Otherwise, subscribe if you want. Don't worry if you don't. But yeah, that'd be great. 4 to go. I meant the part where I categorically ruled out Verstappen and you kept telling me that it isn't over till it's over. I'm very glad I do not have to eat my word. To be fair, I'd still technically be right, Red Raven. It wasn't over until it was over. And he's only 2 points off in the end. So I think, jokes aside, I think if I'd have said to you 6 races ago he'll be 2 points off the championship, you'd have probably laughed in my face and told me I was mad anyway. So I think he's probably what I'm saying. I think he's closer than you expected him to be. So yeah, which I hope is a good thing. I hope you've enjoyed that, watching him try to come back and win it and questioning whether or not he can do it. Because it's been really, really interesting this season. Really good. Came alive, didn't it? Is he struggling with graining? For Oscar, it's more the rear tyres. So Norris is closing in on. Let's just agree on a fair draw, and yes, you are fully correct. There you go, yeah. We'll go with the draw. Technically, you've won, but we'll go with the draw. Graining, not raining. No, not raining. Even if it rained here, it wouldn't do an awful lot. I mean, track temperature is 29.6 degrees, so it'll dry pretty quickly. But yeah, Norris is closing in on Piastri. I wonder if they might just want to make this a little bit more comfortable for Lando. Or is Lando just better on these tyres? I mean, 13 laps on the mediums for 14 now for Piastri, 15 for Lando Norris on the hards. Ask George if it's ready. Yes, sweat on his helmet again. So yeah, we will be wrapping the stream up quite quickly when we finish the race. We won't hang around for a half an hour like we usually do, because I'll go away, get the stream ready for the reaction in an hour's time, and then, yeah, we'll talk about it. Have a bit of time to digest things, get some other reaction in, and press release and whatnot. I don't know if we're going to do it how we used to do it, where we go through the whole order, but we'll certainly talk about as many teams and drivers as we can, but I just want it to be nice and relaxed, no real structure. 1 second, man. Just have a drink, mate, and then I'll let you know what they're doing lap time-wise. So Piastri 27.7, 1.1 quicker than Verstappen. That's not enough. I mean, Norris last lap did a 27.9, so Albon gets black and white flag for track limits. Ana de Armas is going to wave the flag. What shit? Somebody tell me what she's in. Somebody will tell me a thing that she's in. I go, oh, it's her. I know you mean. Here we go. That wasn't a burp. I was going as I tried to think about things. But yeah, no. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. No idea, mate. So yeah, lap times wise, I think Verstappen has this covered with 2 to go. I think Piastri's okay on Norris, but I'm just wondering if they might swap them around just to give Norris a bit of a bigger buffer over Verstappen, just so it looks more impressive. I don't know if they care about that. 1 point is enough, isn't it? Half a point is enough. So she's the person who waved the flag at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Oh, of course, yeah. I remember that, yeah. She's a ballerina, apparently. It said actor on the thing, so. Yeah, not sure who that is, but I'm sure she's very good at whatever it is she does. That's my analysis there. Bond and Knives Out. So I haven't watched that Knives Out yet, Aaron. That's on my list. So thank you, mate. I shall. Next time, when I watch this race back, which I probably never will because it's not been a thriller, in the future, then I'll know who that is then. There you go. The maid from Knives Out. There you go. Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that, actually, Sad Mariners fan. I was just thinking something similar. It says, fair play for Max to not try play games, just won and prayed for a Norris P4. Yeah, Max has done everything he could do today. Because I'm not... Even backing them up, I don't think that was a sensible play. We're different to 2016, aren't we, with these cars? And I think... Yeah, I just feel like he'd have soon been passed by Piastri or Norris or whoever. I don't think it would have worked, and... He needed Norris lower than P4 anyway if Piastri was still in the race. So, yeah, I mean, look, Max Verstappen's on the final lap. We are about to crown a brand new world champion, but again, technically, the race is over, but the result isn't finished until all these cars have been through scrutineering. So we'll celebrate it as a win for Verstappen. We'll congratulate Lando Norris and all of that business. We'll do the reaction, but you never know what can happen once it goes into scrutineering. Ask McLaren about Las Vegas, for example. But yes, here we go. Max has done all he could do. I think he's had a fantastic second half of the season. To even be in it at this stage is quite incredible when you think about how far behind he was and where that Red Bull car was. It was a terrible car. He was dragging it to results and cut back a 104-point lead, and he's going to miss out on the title by 2 points. I mean, that is frustrating, but an incredible achievement. So the number one won't be on that Red Bull next year. It could be the 3, it could be 33. We'll find out in the coming weeks. But Max Verstappen rounds the final 2 corners to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Round he comes. He'll celebrate that with a victory. His 8th win of the year, more wins than anybody else this season. So what a moment for him. But we need to cut to Lando Norris here. Oscar Piastri is going to come home P2. We need to be watching Norris across the line now. Oscar Piastri, we'll talk about all of this properly later, but Lando Norris crosses the line and is the 2025 Formula One World Drivers' Champion. It is done. He doesn't need to wait for Mark Webber or Fernando Alonso to cross the line. He is the world champion. Lando Norris, the 11th British world champion. I can't remember what the number is for the latest world champion, but he's done it. He is the champ, ahead of Max Verstappen by 2 points. So close. And Oscar Piastri, in the end, 13 points adrift. But what a season for Formula One. Great season, but it is all done. And well, I mean, look, again, we'll talk about more in the reaction, but you go back to Zandvoort, that engine failure, Max Verstappen 104 points away, Norris 34 points behind. Piastri was on stonking form. It looked like an uphill struggle, and then Piastri just kind of fell apart, didn't he? And Lando found form, and there you go. Couple of things to clear up. Under investigation, Sainz and Stroll, more than one change of direction if you care. That's in the thrilling battle. Well, it could be important. P9, actually. For Stroll. But what happened with Sainz? He was only 13th, so that's strange. But yes, Lando Norris is your world champion. Max Verstappen, your race winner. Like I said, we'll go through it all properly in the reaction. But we'll stay live for a sort of 5 or 10 minutes and just see him back to the pits. Maybe some donuts. We've got to see some donuts on the start-finish line, haven't we? Surely. Sad Mariners fan says, Austria, man. Kimi, how could you? I mean, yeah, look, I've said it before in this stream. I mean, going back and looking at where things went wrong, it's not always the right way to do it, because, you know, Verstappen didn't have to get hot-headed against Russell in Spain. Would have won the championship without it. But then, had Norris not driven into the back of Oscar Piastri, he probably still would have been champion. If Oscar Piastri hadn't got his penalty at Silverstone, what would have been the case there? You know, the engine failure for Norris. There's too many things have happened this season to pin it down to one thing. But, you know, Antonelli hitting Verstappen in Austria. Actually, you know, do you know what? Funny, that mistake from Antonelli, which was a genuine mistake. There was no controversy there, no conspiracy. Antonelli made a mistake in Qatar. Norris getting him so late in the race, that would have been 2 more points for Verstappen, wouldn't it? On Norris. Verstappen would be champion on race wins. Would have had a champion on countback. Stroll gets a 5-second time penalty. So loses 2 points, by the way, I think. That'll drop him down to P11 for more than one change of direction. I don't know what that does for Haas. I don't think it's enough. There's the change. I know. Haas were Haas were 7 points off in the end. So yeah, Aston might not keep P7, but yeah, no, that's the strategy blunder last week, the plank wear issue. So many things have happened. Pinning it down, and I know, and maybe this is a conversation over the winter when they're less likely to be listening. I know that in the summer there were plans being put in place for the winter about how Norris articles get the clicks. So negative Norris was always going to sell more. You can bet your ass that we're going to get a lot of negative Verstappen over the winter because if he hadn't have done this in this race and hadn't have done that, then he'd have won the championship, because that's how they get their clicks. That and talk about Lewis Hamilton every 5 minutes. Lewis Hamilton farted in the bath. Here's an article. So that's the story for another day. We're let Lando have his moment before we start slagging off the media again. But, you know, expect that. But to pinpoint it on one thing is just, to me, that's very short-sighted. And I think this is one of those we can look at and say, like pretty much every World Championship, this has been won over the course of the season. There's just been too many races this year to pinpoint one as well. 24 race seasons, 6 sprints, disqualifications, bad strategy, mistakes off the line, contact with teammates, running into rivals, getting knocked out by rivals, drivers making mistakes late on. You can't pick one moment. I'd argue if you want to go back and start correcting the championship for mistakes, Lando probably won this 2 races ago. So exactly, it's a season, Clancy. It's as simple as that. So next year's going to be great. I'm hoping it's going to be fantastic. I'm hoping you're all going to join me for that one here on Formula Sean. I will make the point there will be content on the F1 word, but this is where I will be for the most part, as in like 90% of my time. So this is where, if you like the F1 word and you enjoy my content, you're crackers. But if you do, you're insane. But if you do, then this is the place to be if you want to hang out with me next season for F1. And over the winter, like I say, we've got the Christmas stream, which we'll do on the 20th, Sunday the 21st. Just need to confirm that with John T. There'll be a video as well, I'm sure. And then I'm going to take Christmas and New Year just to recover and get over what has been a really shitty 2 months for me. So get over that with the whole Planet Sport thing, and then nice and fresh for 2026. Fresh start. We'll be in. Will January be beta testing for the channel, and then we'll go into full release in Feb? Do you reckon? Is that how we're looking at it? There were a few little donuts on the start finish straight from Lando there, but not quite to the extent that we've seen in the past. Lots of fireworks. Katy Perry's been there this weekend, so I imagine she's responsible for that. Yeah. We'll do driver of the day as well in the race reaction. So, but Lando celebrating with his team. I imagine quite emotional. I'm so happy for him. I am a Verstappen fan. I am a Ferrari fan. I'm not a big McLaren fan, but that goes back to the rivalry of Ferrari and McLaren. I'm never going to be a big McLaren fan, but I'm really happy for Lando. I really like the lad. And I've been thrilled for Piastri as well. But yeah, it's quite a moment for him. You always forget how small he is as well. He's tiny, but there you go. Nico scores a point. Sauber have gone full circle, scoring points in our first race in Kyle Army 93 and scoring a point in our last race, says Pascal. There you go. There's a stat for you. I'll try and save that for Stuart later, but yeah, GP will be gutted, I'd imagine. AM is determined something's happening in scrutineering, and if it does, make sure you hear the race reaction, because we might be getting that live. Who knows? But yeah, Oscar getting a hug from Lando's mum there. He's probably... penny for Oscar Piastri's thoughts there. There's Mohammed Ben Sulayem, of course, the FIA president, who's not going to get involved in F1 and he's going to take a step back, but I see more of him now than I ever did. He's on every bloody podium, for goodness sake. Bearman and Stroll under investigation again, apparently, for more than one change of direction, unless that's a mistake on the... Yeah, it's the same penalty thing. Turn 8, yeah, I don't know what the fee's doing there. Yeah, I just want to watch this week. It's quite a moment crowning a world champion, isn't it? George Russell giving his pal a hug. Yeah, I drove slowly today, mate. Don't worry about it. He didn't say that, but yeah, that was George Russell's voice. Crikey. I can't do a George Russell impression. I want to see how emotional. I imagine very emotional. There's Carlos Sainz as well, celebrating with him. This isn't a surprise, by the way. When I woke up this morning, I fully expected Lando Norris to be world champion by the end of the day. I think 12 points was too big a margin. I think I said that yesterday. So I'm not shocked by this. Seeing your driver 2 points off the title is frustrating, but again, these things happen. As Max says as well, I've already got 4 of those trophies at home. I know what they look like. I don't need a 5th one. I've achieved all I wanted to achieve. Everything else is a bonus. And I mean, that's the reason I love Max Verstappen. He's just so... That's how he is. Yes, Lando's very emotional. As you'd expect. But yeah. Do you think? I'll tell you what, chat. While we're just letting them get rid of the cars and get ready for interviews and that, do you think he'll take the number 1 next season, or do you think he'll stick with the number 4? Because number 4 is very much his brand, isn't it? Ollie Bearman's just been given a 5-second time penalty for more than one change of direction. So that's going to put Hulkenberg up to P9 and put Stroll back into the points. So I want to see what happens. I'm going to have a look online after the stream before we do the reaction and see what happened between Bearman and Stroll. But something's gone on there because now Stroll's back in the points. Interesting. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I think... yeah. Oh, I know, Nina. If there's one thing I don't like about McLaren, it's Zach Brown. He's done a fantastic job post Ron Dennis of turning what was a disaster of a team in that Honda era into what it is now. So huge credit to him and his entire team around him. So that's not my issue. There's just something that really irritates me. And like Stuart said to me yesterday, because he was like, oh, I don't mind Zach. And I was like, the thing, it's just something annoys you about someone like a Zach Brown, and then you can't unsee it, and it just annoys you all the time. It's the fake reactions and things like that, I think, that really bother me. So, yeah. There you go. So Stroll is now ahead of Tsunoda again. Yeah, Stroll goes up to 10. Well, I'll look at the championship in a second. Again, we'll do all this in the reaction. But yeah, Stroll moves back up to 16th in the standings ahead of Yuki, Tsunoda. Antonelli didn't get Hamilton because he didn't score today. So Hamilton hangs on to P6 in the championship. I'm sure he's thrilled by that. No podiums this year for Lewis Hamilton, of course. Alonso took P10 in the championship. Moved 2 places ahead of Hulkenberg and Hadjar, so Alonso top 10, the wily old fox. Aston Martin did take P7, Haas P8 and Sauber P9. Nothing changed in the constructors, so there you go. There you go. I think... yeah, let's wrap it up there because I'm going to be back in about 50 minutes now with the race reaction with Stuart. So please do drop a like on this stream before you go and make sure you set a reminder when it pops up because I will schedule the stream pretty much straight away for the race reaction. So back about 3:30 UK time, like I say, 50 minutes to react to the race and, of course, the World Championship with Stuart. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Formula Sean, and until about 50 minutes time, goodbye.